Resources are our factors of production, the raw material we work with. Capabilities are made up of the same elements. What differentiates capabilities from resources is how they're used. We act on resources using capabilities. For example, let's say you and I both get to run identical network infrastructures for a month simultaneously. All the same equipment configured the same way, with the same workloads and so on. One of us will do better. Why? Capability. Just like capital is a resource, it's also a capability, as when we apply capital wisely to our resources, to our people, our infrastructure, and so on, to obtain more benefit. So, for example, we have a better capability when it comes to capital if we have an agile financial management system that's in sync with our agile ways of working, OpEx versus CapEx oriented. Better matched to our digital enterprise, which uses OpEx-oriented subscription services versus the on-premise CapEx-oriented managed target that was found in traditional enterprises. Just as infrastructure is a resource, it's also a capability. So, for example, if we're a printer support firm competing for a contract to support 5,500 users in 5 states with 15 different models of printers, how many trucks do we have? Where are they located? Where are our parts depots located? All these infrastructure factors are part of our capability, which will help us, if it's superior, to win the contract and provide superior service when we do. People are also part of our capability. Consider our team leads. A good one has the capability to get more out of a team than a mediocre or bad one does. They simply are better organized, know more, have the right mindset, have the right skills to get the job done, things like emotional intelligence, influence, communication and relationship skills. That's people as capability. Our workflows process units of work leveraging resources. The extent to which they do this well is a function of the capability built into them. Are our policies crisp, clear, up-to-date, and understood? How about our processes and procedures? Have we rooted out waste and bottlenecks? Have we trained, practiced, and drilled to get things into muscle memory? That's how we build capability in the area of workflow. Information is another key variable in how successful we are. Think about it. Let's say we're the victim of a cyber attack. We throw a press conference together quickly and find ourselves in front of a room full of reporters standing in front of a microphone. Do we have current information on the extent of the situation, how widespread and damaging it is? Do we know the SEC rules on disclosure? Do we know what our next steps are? Clearly, we'll perform better in this moment of truth if we have the information we need in mind and at our fingertips. The focus here is on using technology to manage other things, including other technologies. This includes using current technologies like NextThink and Eternity to help us manage endpoint devices and the technology experience, or TX. Sprinkler to measure brand sentiment, Happy Signals to measure employee happiness, and so on. Note the last part of the point shown here. It also includes the instrumentation and telemetry we stand up so that we can determine and manage the state of things in our managed target. Here we see the Agile Service Management Experience System, a visual representation of how we run our organization, brand, and offerings to continuously deliver optimal stakeholder experiences as stakeholders' jobs to be done and what technology makes possible changes. It shows how we perform, transform, disrupt, and respond to disruption. It highlights the things that influence how we operate and the things worth managing to us, including our stakeholders and their experiences, our organization, brand, and offerings, and our governance and management systems. Let's break it down, part by part. At the top, you see the governance system. This is the mechanism that informs, guides, and constrains what our organization, brand, and offerings can and cannot do, influenced by the 6 factors shown on the right. It's the mechanism that aligns decisions, actions, communications, and so on throughout the organization in its activities and deliverables. Next, we have our visible management system that makes the state of our work and its quality clear to all, a single source of truth we all see so we can work together within our individual patches or together or however to do and improve the work we do. It's what we use to know and respond to the state of our managed target and to direct and control resources and activities to achieve and sustainably maintain their desired state over time and through changes in stakeholders' job to be done and what technology makes possible. Next, we have the stakeholder experiences, which are what we're doing all this governance and visible management for, to deliver the right stakeholder experiences and value realization at stakeholder touchpoints with our organization, brand, and offerings. We seek to stage these and carry them out as successfully as possible, which takes continuous visualization, learning, and improvement as stakeholders' job to be done and what technologies make possible continually evolves. In traditional service management, we define an entity up front, including its known good state, stand up telemetry so we can know its state, and then use a management system to see that state and act to keep it in that desired state. We do the same thing in Agile Service Management with one big difference. We don't freeze what good looks like up front in terms of configuration, functionality, and qualities and manage to that static picture over relatively long periods of time. Instead, we assume everything is continuously changing via agile improvement sprints driven by continuous stakeholder feedback. Here we see the target of our Agile Service Management, what we manage because it's worth managing. We manage our organization, brand, and offerings so that we can deliver the right stakeholder experiences at touchpoints. We manage the stakeholder experiences themselves, which are at the center of everything we do. And we also manage our management and government systems, too. Let's now have a look at the Visible Management System in detail. Our Visible Management System makes the state of our work and its quality clear to all. It provides a single source of truth we all see so we can work within our individual patches or together to do and improve the work we do. It's what we use to know, shape, and respond to the state of our managed target and to direct and control resources and activities to achieve and sustainably maintain their desired state over time and through changes in stakeholders' job to be done and what technology makes possible. In traditional ITSM, we stand up services and service levels and agreements that remain static for relatively long periods of time and react when there may be a breach. In Agile Service Management, we shine a light on what's happening so that everyone can see it, so that everyone sees, for example, that it takes 45 days for a new hire to get a laptop, that visibility will raise eyebrows and cause action. Having this shared picture obviates the need for lots of agreements. Instead, we have agile action on things that don't pass the red face test because we can all see it and react to it when we see things in our respective patches. The first set of disciplines in our Visible Management System are Develop and Transform. Remember our managed target depicted here at the bottom? These activities apply to all its elements: our organization, brand, offerings, management and governance systems, and stakeholder experiences. Develop and transform disciplines are what we do to align and drive progress in creating and enhancing all elements of our managed target. No value is created if an organization, brand, or offering, or a component of any of them doesn't get taken up and remains shelfware. That's where Promote comes in. It includes the disciplines of marketing, advertising, and selling and fostering uptake of our organization, brand, and its offerings. For offerings, for example, this includes not just the offering as a whole, but individual features and qualities and sets of features and qualities. This is vital because in Agile, we release all the time in smaller chunks that we aim to have taken up to ensure value is realized. Delivery is where the tire meets the road, where all stakeholder experiences happen, where all value is seen and realized by stakeholders. Delivery includes the management system disciplines that direct, control, and execute the day-to-day operation of our organization, brand, and offerings, including things like stakeholder relations, administration, provisioning, metering and billing, and budgeting and accounting. Delivery is primarily characterized by carrying out planned activities on a set schedule, with reactive aspects being important but less frequent than those that are planned. Stuff happens and must be handled well. That's where the support disciplines come in, to direct, control, and execute the day-to-day support of services, including handling events, requests, incidents, and critical situations like major incidents and problems and disasters. Support is primarily a reactive affair, although good planning and practice make for good reactions, with proactive aspects being important but less frequent than those that are unplanned. How do we improve in Agile Service Management? Through the management disciplines that fall under Improve, as shown here. That of listening, iterating and innovating, preempting work and issues, shifting left, leaning up, and building capability into muscle memory. And of course, what we aim to improve is shown here at the bottom, our managed target. We make a point of learning at touchpoint interactions, taking that feedback and reflecting on it, which means we don't just blindly apply the feedback or let it randomize it. We're smart about what we do as a result of it. As Henry Ford famously said, if I asked people what they wanted, they would have told me a faster horse. So it's not the case that we let the feedback drive what we do blindly, but instead we're asking for, listening to, and reflecting on that feedback and applying it wisely. We learn from our experiences at touchpoints and feed that learning back into improvement in agile sprints. Our aim in improvement is to shift left, moving things worth managing from a gray or unknown state to a known state, and from red or critical and yellow or degraded towards green or okay. Here we see the target of our improvement highlighted. Based on the feedback we gather at touchpoints, we adjust our governance and management systems, organization, brand, and offerings in agile sprints. These feedback loops are part of our governance and management systems. The point at the bottom is the virtuous cycle of Agile Service Management. We don't just do, we improve the doing, continuously. Continuous improvement is part of the core work we carry out.